In the heart of the Mojave Desert, a concrete giant stands in silence. Hoover Dam holds back the largest reservoir in the United States. Millions of tourists visit Hoover Dam each year, marveling at the engineering wonder. But beneath the polished surface of Hoover Dam lies a story that official records refuse to tell. A story sealed inside government archives, locked away until the year 2085. What exactly is the United States government hiding inside Hoover Dam's classified files? Construction of Hoover Dam began in 1931, during the darkest years of America's Great Depression. Over 21,000 workers descended upon the Black Canyon of the Colorado River. Workers lived in hastily built camps, Boulder City, in brutal desert heat reaching 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The Bureau of Reclamation officially recorded 96 workers who lost their lives on the construction site. But independent researchers believe the true number of those who vanished far exceeds the official count. Carbon monoxide poisoning was rampant inside the tunnels, workers collapsed and were simply replaced. Many deaths were reclassified as pneumonia, a convenient label for a politically inconvenient truth. Former construction supervisor Frank Crowe kept meticulous personal ledgers tracking labor incidents. Those ledgers disappeared after Frank Crowe passed away in 1946 and have never been found since. One of the most enduring mysteries of Hoover Dam is the legend of workers entombed within the concrete. The popular myth claims that men who vanished inside the concrete pores were simply left behind. Engineers and historians have challenged this claim. The concrete pores were carefully layered and controlled. Yet the Bureau of Reclamation's own internal memos hint at unresolved labor incidents near Intake Tower 4. Intake Tower 4, a structure buried deep on the Arizona side, was sealed from public access in 1936. Workers who had labored near Intake Tower 4 reportedly refused to discuss what they witnessed underground. A 1935 Nevada newspaper documented a foreman who went into the lower chambers and never returned. His name was redacted from every subsequent Bureau of Reclamation payroll record. To this day, no grave marker, no next of kin notification, and no death certificate has been located. In 1983, a routine maintenance crew deep inside Hoover Dam made an unexpected discovery. Inside a sealed drainage corridor, workers uncovered a locked steel box embedded in the canyon wall. The steel box contained personal belongings, work gloves, a leather-bound journal, and a photograph. The photograph depicted 7 workers standing in front of an unmarked tunnel entrance, smiling. Researchers attempting to identify these 7 workers found no matching names in any official roster. The leather-bound journal was immediately transferred to the Bureau of Reclamation's regional office. The maintenance crew was instructed to sign non-disclosure agreements before leaving the site. The contents of the journal have never been publicly released and may not be until the year 2085. In 2012, a Freedom of Information Act request revealed a startling piece of bureaucratic language. Certain Hoover Dam operational records were flagged under Executive Restriction Code 7 Delta. Code 7 Delta is an obscure federal classification, typically reserved for national security materials. The documents under Code 7 Delta are sealed until the year 2085, over 6 decades from now. The federal government provided no official explanation for why a civil engineering project requires national security classification. Investigative journalist Daniel Rothwell spent 4 years filing FOIA appeals. All were denied. Rothwell stated, the rejection letters contained a line that was itself redacted, blacked out. A redaction within a rejection letter, a bureaucratic layer of secrecy almost never seen in civil records. Official blueprints of Hoover Dam reveal 1.2 million cubic yards of concrete, but former engineers describe chambers that do not appear on any published schematic. Engineer Ray Holcomb, who worked at Hoover Dam from 1975 to 1989, described a series of lower-level corridors. Holcomb described a locked door beneath the Nevada side visitor tunnel, one he was explicitly forbidden to open. Behind the door, Holcomb reported hearing the sound of running water, in a section where no active pipes were charted. His supervisor told him, "There are parts of Hoover Dam that belong to a different jurisdiction entirely." A different jurisdiction, inside a publicly operated federal dam, raises extraordinary questions. The first major hypothesis centers on the deliberate concealment of worker fatalities inside the structure. 6 Months Company, the consortium of contractors, operated under immense financial pressure to meet deadlines. Reporting every vanished worker would have triggered federal investigations and potentially halted the entire project. Historians note that the Great Depression created a climate where desperate workers would accept any condition. Workers who complained about safety conditions were terminated or simply vanished from the employment rolls. Union organizer Joe Clements attempted to document safety violations in 1933 and disappeared 3 weeks later. Joe Clements was never found, his family received no explanation and filed no official missing persons report. The second major hypothesis is darker and far more unsettling for those who believe it. Some researchers believe Hoover Dam was designed from its earliest blueprints as a dual-purpose structure. Its visible purpose: generate hydroelectric power and provide water for the American Southwest. Its hidden purpose: serve as a classified government facility, built during an era of global instability. Documents released in 2001 confirmed that Hoover Dam was considered a strategic military asset during World War II. Army anti-aircraft batteries were installed around Hoover Dam in 1941, a fact hidden from the American public. Certain tunnels within Hoover Dam were designated as emergency command and control bunkers for the western United States. If these command tunnels were operational in the 1940s, what activities took place inside them, and who authorized those activities? There is a third hidden dimension to the Hoover Dam mystery, one that predates the dam's construction by centuries. The Black Canyon region was sacred ground to the Southern Paiute and Mojave peoples for thousands of years. When construction began, archaeological surveys conducted along the canyon walls revealed significant ancient structures. Burial sites, ceremonial chambers, and petroglyphs were documented by bureau surveyors and then quietly removed from public reports. Tribal representatives from the Southern Paiute Nation have repeatedly requested access to those 1930s survey records. The Bureau of Reclamation has consistently denied these requests, citing the same Code 7 Delta classification. Why would ancestral burial data require the same classification level as national security documents? In 2021 and 2022, Lake Mead experienced catastrophic water level drops due to prolonged drought conditions. As the waters receded, Lake Mead began to reveal what it had swallowed since 1935. Boats, vehicles, and skeletal remains began emerging from the lakebed at an alarming rate. Between April and August 2022, law enforcement recovered 4 separate sets of unidentified human remains from Lake Mead. At least one set of remains was estimated to date back to the 1930s, matching the construction era of Hoover Dam. That set of remains was transferred to federal custody immediately, and no further public updates were issued. Forensic archaeologists who requested access to examine the remains were informed the case was under federal jurisdiction. Federal jurisdiction over what should be a routine unidentified persons case raises the same question the dam has always asked. In recent years, a community of independent historians and archivists has devoted itself to decoding Hoover Dam's hidden past. Archivist Linda Farrell cross-referenced Bureau of Reclamation payroll records with Nevada census data from 1930 to 1940. Farrell identified 112 individuals who appear on payroll records but vanish entirely from census rolls after 1935. Of those 112 individuals, none appear in state death records, cemetery records, or military service files. 112 people, simply erased from the historical record as though they never existed. Farrell submitted this research to 3 congressional representatives in 2019, none responded. What conclusions can we draw from the evidence assembled across 9 decades of Hoover Dam's existence? The first clear conclusion: official worker fatality counts were deliberately minimized during construction. Hundreds of families across America may still believe their vanished relatives simply moved on to other jobs. The second clear conclusion: elements of Hoover Dam's infrastructure served classified government purposes beyond public knowledge. A dam that functions as both a power generator and a wartime command bunker contains secrets by structural necessity. The third conclusion is the most haunting: the year 2085 was not chosen arbitrarily. Documents are typically sealed for 50 or 75 years, rarely for over 150 years from their original date of creation. A 2085 seal ensures that every living person connected to whatever occurred at Hoover Dam will be long gone before the truth can emerge. Hoover Dam stands today as it has always stood, massive, silent, and different to the questions swirling around its base. The Colorado River continues its ancient journey, indifferent to the concrete structure that has interrupted its flow for 90 years. The 112 individuals who vanished from Nevada's records remain unaccounted for: no names, no graves, no acknowledgement. The leather-bound journal remains sealed inside a federal archive, its words unread by anyone outside the government. And somewhere beneath the Mojave Desert, behind a locked door in a corridor that appears on no public blueprint, the water still flows. Perhaps in 2085, when the classified files are finally opened, the concrete giant will speak. Until then, Hoover Dam keeps its secrets, the way all great structures do, silently, patiently, and forever.